Have you noticed your legs feeling weaker lately? Maybe a little shaky when you stand or tired after just a short walk? Even though you're doing your best to eat right and stay active? You're not imagining it, and you're definitely not alone. The truth is, aging changes how our bodies react to food, and some fruits, yes, fruits, might be doing more harm than good. That's right. While most people think all fruits are healthy, certain ones can actually make things worse for seniors over 60, silently weakening your legs, triggering inflammation, and making it harder to stay mobile and independent. If you've been struggling with leg pain, stiffness, or just don't feel as strong as you used to, your fruit bowl might be part of the problem. In this video, I'll reveal the 7 worst fruits that could be damaging your leg health and keeping you from living the active, pain-free life you deserve. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss a tip that could protect your health. And if this video hits home, type 1 in the comments. If not, drop a 0 and let me know how I can improve. Let's get into it. 1. Pineapple, the silent trigger of inflammation. Pineapple often shows up on superfood lists, especially for seniors trying to eat healthier and fight inflammation. It's juicy, tropical, and packed with bromelain, a natural enzyme known for its anti-inflammatory properties. On paper, that sounds like a win for anyone struggling with arthritis or joint pain. But here's where things get tricky. While bromelain may help reduce swelling, the high sugar and acid content in pineapple can have the opposite effect on your body, especially if you're over 60. As we age, our cells become more sensitive to what we eat, and fruits that once seemed harmless or even healthy can start to work against us. Pineapple is one of them. For seniors with arthritis or chronic inflammation, the sugar spike from eating pineapple or drinking its juice can quietly trigger a chain reaction in the body. Excess sugar feeds inflammation, and for those whose immune systems are already working overtime, this means more pain, more stiffness, and slower recovery after activity. The acidity can also irritate the stomach lining or aggravate acid reflux, which many older adults already deal with. It's no wonder that a habit as innocent as drinking pineapple juice in the morning, something often done in the name of detoxing, can end up making leg pain worse and joints more inflamed throughout the day. Compare that to blueberries, which are also sweet and delicious, but have far lower sugar and acid content. More importantly, they're rich in antioxidants and flavonoids that actively help reduce inflammation and protect muscle and nerve health. One study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that older adults who regularly consumed blueberries showed significant improvements in mobility and reduced markers of oxidative stress, which contributes to joint and muscle degeneration. A common mistake many seniors make is assuming that natural equals safe. Pineapple is natural, yes, but natural doesn't mean it's always good for aging bodies. If you enjoy pineapple, you don't necessarily have to cut it out entirely. But moderation and timing are key. Have it in small amounts, ideally after a protein-rich meal to slow sugar absorption, and avoid it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Better yet, consider switching to fruits like blueberries, cherries, or blackberries, which offer anti-inflammatory benefits without the sugar crash or acid load. Listening to your body and choosing the right fruits for your age and health condition isn't about restriction, it's about empowerment. Knowing what helps and what harms puts you back in control of your strength, one choice at a time. 2. Bananas, the muscle imposter. Bananas have long been seen as a go-to snack for quick energy, easy to grab, easy to digest, and full of potassium. For many older adults, they feel like a safe choice. But what if that banana you reach for before your morning walk or light workout is actually setting you up for fatigue, leg heaviness, and even swelling? It's more common than you think. What seems like a healthy habit can, for some seniors, quietly become a trap that leaves the body feeling drained rather than fueled. Take the story of a retired teacher in his early 70s who made a habit of eating a ripe banana before heading out for his daily walk. At first, he thought it gave him a nice energy lift. But over time, he began noticing something strange. His legs felt sluggish, almost heavy, and he found himself short of breath earlier than usual. It didn't make sense. He hadn't changed anything else in his routine. What he didn't realize was that very ripe bananas have a high glycemic index, meaning they cause a sharp spike in blood sugar. For older adults, whose insulin response is often less efficient, this can lead to a rapid rise and then crash in energy levels. Instead of sustained energy, it triggers fatigue and even lightheadedness during physical activity. Worse, it can promote fluid retention, especially in the lower limbs, leading to that uncomfortable swelling in the feet and ankles many seniors report. Now compare that to a red apple. Apples have a much lower glycemic index and a slower carb release, which helps maintain steady blood sugar levels and longer-lasting energy. They also contain more fiber, which aids in digestion and reduces the chances of sudden glucose spikes. In a 2013 study published in Nutrition Journal, older adults who incorporated low GI fruits like apples into their daily diets experienced improved energy regulation and reduced signs of inflammation, compared to those who consumed high GI fruits regularly. The key takeaway here isn't that bananas are bad. In fact, they're rich in potassium and can be beneficial when eaten at the right time and in the right amount. But timing matters. If you're going to eat a banana, pair it with some protein or healthy fat, like a spoonful of almond butter, to help slow down sugar absorption. And avoid very ripe bananas if you're sensitive to blood sugar swings. Being mindful of how your body responds to certain foods as you age is an act of self-respect. It's not about fear, it's about tuning in. With the right knowledge, even simple changes can help restore your energy and keep your legs strong and steady. If you found these insights valuable, let me know by commenting yes below. Your thoughts matter, and I'd love to hear from you. 3. Grapes. Tiny fruit, big inflammatory impact. Have you ever reached for a handful of grapes thinking it's the perfect guilt-free snack? Sweet, juicy, bite-sized, what's not to love? But here's something most people don't realize. For older adults, especially those dealing with joint pain or a history of gout, grapes can quietly become one of the worst choices. It all comes down to fructose, the natural sugar in fruit that, in excess, can drive up uric acid levels in the body. And when uric acid rises, it often builds up in the joints, especially at night, leading to sudden, sharp gout flare-ups that can make even the lightest touch feel unbearable. This was exactly what happened to Harold, a 68-year-old former truck driver from Ohio. He'd swapped out cookies and chips for fruit when he started watching his diet more closely. Every night, he'd snack on a generous handful of green grapes after dinner. It felt like a smart move, until the aching in his feet started waking him up at night. He brushed it off as arthritis until a flare sent him to urgent care, where he learned it was actually gout. The culprit? Too much fruit sugar, especially from grapes, which he had been eating daily for months. Not all grapes are equal either. Red and green grapes both carry high levels of fructose, but dried grapes, raisins, are the most concentrated. A small box of raisins contains as much sugar as a candy bar, and it hits your system even faster. The issue isn't that grapes are inherently bad, but when eaten regularly and in large portions, especially by seniors with slower metabolisms or kidney function issues, they can cause a silent buildup of uric acid. Over time, say 3 months of daily snacking, that innocent habit can turn into a painful problem. So what can you do if you love the taste of sweet fruit but want to avoid triggering gout? Try reaching for fruits with lower fructose content and higher water content, like fresh berries, kiwi, or even sliced pears. And if you still want the grape flavor, try freezing a few and enjoying them as an occasional treat rather than a daily go-to. Balancing enjoyment with awareness is key. You don't have to give up sweetness, you just need to make choices that protect your joints and keep you moving comfortably. Have you noticed certain fruits triggering joint pain or swelling for you? Share your experience in the comments. I'd love to know what changes have worked for you or what you're still trying to figure out. 4. Watermelon. The false hydrator. When the summer heat rolls in, what's more refreshing than a cold slice of watermelon? It's sweet, hydrating, and feels like the perfect guilt-free way to cool down. But here's a question worth asking. What if that juicy slice is acting more like candy in your body than a health food? For older adults, especially those concerned with blood sugar or leg strength, watermelon's high glycemic index, GI, makes it a hidden threat that often flies under the radar. Marjorie, a 73-year-old widow from Arizona, loved sitting on her porch with a bowl of watermelon to beat the desert heat. She thought she was doing her body a favor, staying off soda, drinking less coffee, and using watermelon as her main source of hydration. But within weeks, she noticed her energy crashing midday, her legs aching, and her blood sugar readings creeping higher than usual. What she didn't know is that watermelon, though mostly water, breaks down in the body quickly and causes a sudden spike in glucose. Especially dangerous when eaten alone or in large amounts on an empty stomach. It hits fast and hard, not unlike a sugary snack. This is where the comparison with cantaloupe becomes useful. While also sweet and refreshing, cantaloupe has a slightly lower glycemic index and is more balanced in how it affects blood sugar. The difference might seem small, but for older adults, whose insulin sensitivity often declines with age, that small difference can mean better energy, more stable moods, and fewer episodes of fatigue or leg weakness. Watermelon, despite its innocent reputation, can overwhelm the system with sugar when not paired properly with other nutrients. The issue isn't that watermelon is off limits. It's about how and when you eat it. Eating watermelon on an empty stomach or treating it like a drink replacement is where most people go wrong. For seniors, this habit can silently undermine blood sugar control and contribute to muscle fatigue, especially in the legs, where circulation and nerve sensitivity are already more vulnerable with age. The smarter way to enjoy watermelon is after a balanced meal, ideally one with fiber and protein, which can help slow the absorption of sugar and protect energy levels. A small portion alongside some Greek yogurt or a few almonds can satisfy that sweet craving without sending your system into a spike and crash spiral. As we get older, the way our bodies react to even the healthiest foods can shift. Understanding those changes isn't about fear, it's about freedom. When you know better, you can eat better, feel stronger, and move through life with more confidence. 5. Oranges. The acidic assault on joints. It's no secret that oranges are famous for their vitamin C. For decades, they've been a breakfast staple across America, often seen as the first line of defense against colds and fatigue. But here's a surprising fact. The same orange juice many seniors drink every morning in the name of health might actually be making their joints stiffer, their knees ache, and their balance feel off. The issue isn't just the fruit itself. It's the combination of citric acid and natural sugar, especially when consumed on an empty stomach. Orange juice, particularly the kind found in cartons, is often stripped of fiber and concentrated in sugar. Without the pulp and structure of the whole fruit, your body absorbs that sugar fast, spiking insulin and triggering inflammation. The citric acid adds another layer of trouble. For seniors, whose digestive systems and joints are more sensitive, this acid can irritate the stomach lining and, over time, contribute to the body's overall inflammatory load. According to a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, excessive intake of fructose, especially from fruit juices, is linked to increased levels of inflammatory markers and worsened arthritis symptoms in older adults. The difference between eating a whole orange and drinking store-bought juice is significant. A whole orange comes with fiber, which slows digestion and moderates blood sugar impact. But most commercial orange juices are processed to be sweeter and more shelf-stable, with very little fiber left. This makes them hit the bloodstream fast, which can make knee joints swell, hands feel puffy, and energy levels plummet by mid-morning. Another mistake many people make is drinking orange juice first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. This habit can lead to a quick blood sugar spike, followed by a crash, leaving you feeling shaky, tired, and more prone to joint pain before the day even starts. The acidity also worsens this effect, making digestion more difficult and sometimes causing mild dizziness or imbalance, symptoms that often go unnoticed but are quietly damaging your daily mobility. If you're trying to boost your vitamin C without the downside, consider options like kiwi, bell peppers, or strawberries. These offer high levels of vitamin C with a lower glycemic impact and far less acid. Pairing them with a protein source helps your body absorb the nutrients more effectively and keeps inflammation in check. Have you ever felt more joint pain or stiffness after drinking fruit juice? What changes have you noticed when switching to whole foods? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your experience might help someone else make a better choice today. 6. Green apples, a hidden source of leg pain. Green apples are often seen as the smarter, healthier choice when it comes to fruit. They're tart, crisp, lower in sugar than red apples, and commonly linked to weight control and digestion. But what many older adults don't know is that this healthier apple might actually be making their joint and muscle pain worse, not better. The reason lies in their high malic acid content. While malic acid can support energy production in small doses, in larger amounts it can irritate sensitive tissues, especially in seniors dealing with arthritis or fibromyalgia. That's exactly what happened to Linda, a 66-year-old grandmother from Michigan. Trying to stay active and healthy, she began eating a green apple every morning, thinking it would help her digestion and give her a clean energy boost. Within weeks, she noticed a dull, nagging pain in her calves and hips that she brushed off as aging. But the discomfort lingered, spreading to her feet and thighs, making walks around the block feel harder and less enjoyable. It wasn't until she mentioned her daily apple habit to a nutritionist that she learned about the link between green apples and inflammation. Once she switched to gentler fruits, her pain began to ease. The issue is subtle but real. Green apples, especially on an empty stomach, can trigger discomfort in people with existing joint or muscle issues. The acidity of malic acid can irritate already inflamed tissues, and for someone over 60 whose body is more prone to chronic inflammation, this adds unnecessary strain. It's not just about the joints either. Many seniors feel this discomfort in the muscles of the lower body, mistaking it for normal aging when it's actually a dietary response. When compared to red apples, which are slightly sweeter and less acidic, the difference becomes clear. Red apples are gentler on the digestive tract and less likely to provoke inflammation, making them a safer choice for seniors with sensitive systems. According to a 2016 review published in Nutrition and Aging, older adults with inflammatory conditions reported fewer pain flare-ups when consuming low-acid fruits compared to acidic ones, even if the sugar content was slightly higher. The good news is, you don't have to give up apples altogether. If you love their taste, consider baking them, which reduces acidity, or paring slices with a few almonds or a spoonful of nut butter to help buffer the acid and slow digestion. These small adjustments make a big difference in how your body responds. Staying healthy in your later years doesn't mean giving up your favorite foods. It means learning how to enjoy them in ways that support your strength and comfort. If you found these insights valuable, let me know by commenting yes below. Your thoughts matter, and I'd love to hear from you. 7. Mango, the sugar bomb for your joints. Have you ever treated yourself to a sweet mango smoothie in the evening, thinking it was a healthy way to wind down the day? It's easy to think of mangoes as a wholesome tropical treat, rich in vitamins, natural and refreshing. But here's what most people don't realize. A single medium-sized mango can pack over 40 grams of sugar. That's about as much as a can of soda. And for seniors, especially those dealing with blood sugar sensitivity or neuropathy, that kind of sugar load can quietly cause real harm, numbing feet, aching calves, and painful nighttime leg symptoms that seem to come out of nowhere. That's exactly what happened to John, a 71-year-old retiree from Florida. Eager to stay off processed desserts, he started blending mango into smoothies every night after dinner. Within a few weeks, he began waking up at night with tingling pain in his calves and numbness in his feet. Thinking it was just poor circulation or age, he mentioned it at his next checkup, where his doctor traced the symptoms to a spike in blood sugar and inflammation, fueled by the nightly mango habit. While mangoes do contain fiber and vitamins, the sheer sugar concentration can overwhelm aging metabolic systems and trigger inflammation in the nerves and blood vessels of the lower body. What makes this even more surprising is how easily it's overlooked. Because mango is fruit, we assume it's naturally good for us, but not all fruits act the same in the body, especially as we age. For older adults, the sudden glucose surge from mangoes can cause not just a sugar crash, but long-term nerve irritation, swelling in the legs, and that dull, dragging fatigue that makes daily activity harder. A study published in Diabetes Care found that diets high in fructose-rich fruits were associated with increased risk of peripheral neuropathy symptoms in older adults, particularly when consumed in the evening when the body's insulin sensitivity is lower. There's a better way. If you love mango, you don't have to give it up completely. Eat a small portion, about 1/3 of a fruit, after a balanced lunch, when your body is more active and able to handle the sugar. Avoid having it on an empty stomach or late in the day when it's more likely to spike your blood sugar and disturb your sleep. You might also consider switching to papaya, which is lower in sugar and contains enzymes that support digestion, making it gentler on your metabolism. As we grow older, it's no longer just about eating the fruit you love. It's about choosing fruits that love you back. Ones that keep your feet steady, your nerves calm, and your legs strong enough to carry you through life with ease. 8. What should seniors eat instead? There comes a time when the body begins to speak more clearly than ever before. It whispers through tired legs, stiff knees, and the quiet ache that lingers long after a walk. For many seniors, this realization is startling, that the fruits they once trusted may have quietly contributed to the very discomfort they hoped to avoid. It's easy to feel disappointed, even betrayed, when something as innocent as a bowl of fruit becomes a source of pain. But there's another way to look at it. This is not the end of enjoying fruit. It's the beginning of understanding it more deeply. Because aging isn't about restriction. It's about making choices that respect the wisdom your body has earned through the years. The truth is, the right fruits can support your strength, your circulation, your energy, and your freedom to move. When you begin choosing those that work with your body, not against it, you start to feel the difference. Berries are a perfect place to begin. Blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries are rich in natural compounds that fight inflammation without flooding your bloodstream with sugar. They help soothe joints and protect the very cells that keep your muscles and nerves strong. Over time, these small berries do quiet, powerful work, helping your legs feel lighter, your steps more confident. Cherries, too, when enjoyed in moderation, have a unique way of calming the body from within. They help reduce uric acid levels, making them an ally for those living with gout or arthritis. And then there's the richness of avocado, a fruit that doesn't announce itself with sweetness, but rather with substance. Its healthy fats nourish your joints, ease inflammation, and stabilize your energy. Unlike many fruits, avocado won't spike your blood sugar or leave you feeling drained. Instead, it offers steady support, satisfying, strengthening, and soothing. Papaya brings another kind of relief. Its soft texture and digestive enzymes make it especially helpful for older adults whose systems have become more sensitive with age. It nurtures without irritating. It comforts without overwhelming. Even pears, when eaten thoughtfully and paired with a bit of protein or fiber, can offer gentle sweetness that lifts you without weighing you down. In this chapter of life, food becomes more than just fuel. It becomes medicine, a quiet partner in your well-being. The key is choosing fruits that give back, those that ease, support, and help you move through the day with clarity and strength. You don't have to give up fruit. You only have to let go of the ones that no longer serve you and embrace those that truly care for you in return. Final thoughts from one senior to another. After many decades of life, through struggles, triumphs, healing, and change, you begin to see things differently. You feel more. You listen more closely to your body, even when it speaks in whispers, through stiff knees, sore legs, or the kind of fatigue that seems to settle deeper than before. Growing older brings challenges few prepare us for. The slowing down, the aching after simple tasks, the quiet fear that maybe, just maybe, your body won't carry you like it used to. But with those challenges also comes perspective, and that perspective is powerful. We were raised to believe fruit was always good for us, back when our bodies were faster, more resilient, and could handle more without consequence. That may have been true. But now, in our 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, our systems need more care, more precision. The very fruits that once gave us energy might now be chipping away at our strength, inflaming our joints, or robbing us of balance. That doesn't mean we've done anything wrong. It simply means it's time to adjust. Because for us, walking isn't just movement, it's freedom, it's independence, It's the right to stand tall and go where we please, without pain holding us back. This stage of life isn't about restriction, it's about refinement, about honoring the wisdom we've earned and using it to care for our bodies in ways that truly serve us. Choosing the right fruits, those that soothe inflammation, support steady energy, and help our legs carry us without strain, is a small shift with a deep impact. You don't need to make every change at once. Just start noticing how you feel after eating. Let your body guide you. Replace what no longer supports your vitality with foods that do. It's not a diet, it's a kindness to yourself. So if you've been feeling discouraged, overwhelmed, or just unsure of where to begin, take a deep breath. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're simply at a crossroads, and now you know more. And with that knowledge, you can walk forward stronger. This is your time to live with intention, to protect your body, especially your legs and joints, so that you can keep moving, living, and enjoying the life you've worked so hard to build. Let this be the chapter where you choose strength, bite by bite, step by step. Because aging isn't the end of anything. It's the beginning of living smarter, freer, more fully. If this message resonated with you, and you want more content made with your health and future in mind, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We're walking this journey with you, one meaningful choice at a time.